Hey guys, it's Tim Miller from the Bulwark. Quick Sunday debate update. Over the weekend, there is still this debate over the debates, and with Kamala Harris being on the side of wanting to and being willing to do another debate, with Donald Trump running away from that like a scared little baby. So that trend continues. We had Kamala Harris agree to a debate in late October on CNN. This would be the second debate between the two of them, and really, to be honest, the traditional third debate between the two parties. Usually, we've had three debates for most of the presidential cycles before we had Donald Trump start to turn all of this into his D-rate out of the deal stuff, and so that would be the third debate that we would have had. One of them being with Joe Biden, of course, but Donald Trump is Let's just take a look at what he said at his rally in North Carolina about whether he would be willing to debate Kamala Harris a second time.
And they would just announced a little while ago as I was coming off the plane, they would like to do another debate. Although, good entertainment value. A lot of people say, oh, do it, it's great entertainment. I've already done two. One with Crooked Joe Biden at CNN, and the other one with Kamala on ABC. CNN was very fair, I thought. Joe was driven out of the race. It was a coup, by the way, but he was driven out of the race. And they've been widely criticized by the radical left lunatics for all of the fairness. They were very fair. In other words, they won't be fair again because they took a lot of abuse from the radical left. ABC was 3-on-1. But I was given credit for having done a very, very good job. I appreciate that. We did a great job. It was 3-on-1. The problem with another debate is that it's just too late. Voting has already started. She's had her chance to do it with Fox. Fox invited us on, and I waited, and they turned it down. But now she wants to do a debate right before the election with CNN because she's losing badly. It's like a fighter. She sees the pulse. She sees what's happening. She's losing badly. But it's like a fighter who goes into the ring and gets knocked out. The first thing he says is, I want a rematch. And I won all of the primaries. Remember, she won none. She went into no primary. She got no votes. Biden, in all fairness, I'm no fan. But in all fairness to him, he got 14 million votes. She got none. She's done one debate. I've done two. It's too late to do another. I'd love to in many ways, but it's too late. The voting is cast. The voters are out there.
It's too late. Voting is all this doesn't even make any sense. There have been debates after early voting started before. This is a person that got his clock cleaned by Kamala Harris on the debate stage, knows it, and does not want any more of that smoke. That's just all that's happening here. I have continued to be on the side. There were people way back early in the year that said Biden and Trump will never debate because there's no value on either side. I was on the opposite side of that. I always thought that Biden needed to demonstrate that he was up for the race, and Trump would his ego would not let him, the machismo would not let him, avoid a debate with Sleepy Joe. Obviously, those incentives aligned. They debated. We all saw what happened, and now you move on to the switch. And then after the switch, there were people who said there might not be debates, and I was like, no, I think they're going to have to debate. Again, Trump's machismo is not going to let him say I'm going to hide from the black woman. I'm going to need to buck up, stand next to her, demonstrate that I'm strong, that she's dumb, or dumb as a box of rocks, or whatever he likes to call her. And on the Harris side, she had to demonstrate that she was could pass the commander-in-chief test to people that were not that familiar with her, despite being VP. She still had a decent chunk of people that just didn't know a lot about her, as evidenced by the fact that her poll favorability rating has gone up 16 points for a discussion about the NBC poll. So in the debate that they had, Kamala Harris obviously achieved her objective. She convinced many people that were not sure about her, that she passed the commander-in-chief bar. Donald Trump did not achieve whatever it was he was trying to do, to demonstrate that Kamala Harris is too extreme or too much of a lightweight or whatever his strategy was. It was unclear because he was just a total mess. And so I've continued now to be of the belief that I assumed he would debate her again. I mean, he's losing the polls, as we've discussed. He needs to change the race somehow. It couldn't go any worse. And could it? You don't think it could go any worse than the first debate, where he couldn't even look at her. He had no memorable lines. He didn't like land a single punch on her. There were no vulnerabilities that she had afterwards. It was just a total zero from Trump in the first debate. So I figured that like he kind of do this game again, and then eventually just do it, because like all the incentives for him are to do it, like to not seem like a toddler throwing a tantrum, to not allow the Harris campaign to mock him as they've been able to do, to question his manhood, to not have people like me insulting him on TV and on YouTube streams. Like it feels like, just for the narrative and for the conversation around his campaign, especially if he's supposed to be this tough guy who had Hulk Hogan at the last night of his convention, you would think that he would feel like he needs to be a man and take his lumps from the first debate and stand next to her again and offer people a vision of him that hopefully would hopefully from his point of view, help him get back into this race. But increasingly, I think maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe he's in such a bubble in Mar-a-Lago, he doesn't realize how bad it looks. I think that's possible. There's a lot of evidence, a lot of reporting. My colleague Mark Caputo was reporting that there just wasn't a lot of bad news that was getting to him. He wasn't being challenged a lot during debate prep. He has a pretty small circle around him these days, so maybe he doesn't realize how bad of a look this is, or maybe he just knows that he can't help himself, and he won't do better because he can't control his rage. This is another thing that that Mark Caputo reported. People around him said that Trump was saying to his advisors that he does hate her, and he can't not hate her. So, okay, maybe he just knows that he can't control himself, and it will be another mess. And instead, he wants to try to draw this inside straight through the Electoral College, through this kind of Pennsylvania, Georgia path to the 270 that he's going to need. I don't know. I guess, but to me, it seems like a strategic error from him, and I'm pretty surprised. I mean, I guess surprise isn't the right word, because Trump is a baby. Trump is a toddler. He always has been. He always has been a man baby. They caricatured him as a man baby in Spy magazine back in the 80s. He had a tantrum after he lost the last election and didn't go to the peaceful transfer of power, as I've discussed ad nauseum. So, I guess surprise is not the right word, but just you would think that the strategic imperative of changing the trajectory of this race, which has been Kamala Harris up ever since the switch, would overwhelm his personal character flaws and his inability to kind of buck up and do what he has to do. But apparently not. Increasingly, I'm starting to think that this guy just either thinks he can't do it or isn't up for it, and so he's not going to be going toe to toe with Kamala Harris again. It's too bad for me, because boy, did I have a great time in that spin room. I just was enjoying myself, watching all the sad MAGA Donald Trump surrogates walking around. I mean, I was having a good time. But so I would love to be wrong. I hope that Donald Trump gives it another go, because I don't. In the end, I'm not sure it really matters, because I don't think that he would do significantly better than he did in the first debate. I guess I'm just surprised that he doesn't think that he can do better. I mean, that's kind of crazy, given how bad and how ugly it was. Final reminder: the great Mike Collins tweet from Georgia. We got to put it back up again. You want to know who won? Find out who refuses to do a second debate. Yep. I think that tells you all you need to know about who won the first debate. It was Kamala Harris, and now Donald Trump is the one who is refusing to go head-to-head with her again. All right, make sure to subscribe to the feed. We'll be back soon with any breaking news, or back tomorrow with our usual schedule right here on the Bulwark YouTube page. Peace.